Hi, everybody. Welcome to Studio 801, and this is Music Matters. And today we have with us the band Bullet Train to Madrid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for being with us, guys. We got a little bit of a full back house today. I've got Christy next to me, and Ryan and Blake both running the engineering. Blake, why didn't you say 2 or 1?
You're not supposed to. If you paid attention to Wayne's World, you'd know better.
Wow. Bullet Train to Madrid. Have
Yes.
you seen Wayne's World?
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Oh.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
yet.
seen that.
Oh,
movie.
okay, you guys have to go see
Yeah.
Wayne's World. If you've got a rock band, you have to see Wayne's
Yeah.
World.
Last Halloween, I was Wayne.
Okay, awesome. You've got the hair for it. I
Yeah.
can totally see that. All right, rock on. So tell me about. Introduce yourselves. What you play.
My name is Rocco Pena. I play guitar.
My name is James Hayes. I play drums.
My name is Jackson Cole, and I play the bass.
Okay. And Bullet Train to Madrid. Why? Why that name?
So that name came about because about a year ago, my parents went on a trip to Spain,
Okay.
and they took a literal bullet train to Madrid.
Okay.
So that's where it came from.
Okay. So there's some inspiration there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see lots of good? So they went. You didn't go.
Yeah. No, I was still here.
Okay. So they took some pictures, told you about it.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the most fascinating part about the bullet train to Madrid?
I mean, just the speed of it, how it just goes so fast, and like you don't even feel it. It's literally just like you're gliding, you know.
Okay. Does that say something about your music? Is that kind of
Yeah,
what the connection
I would say
is?
so. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Never really thought about
Yeah.
it like that.
Yeah, it
but
really
it kind of
does.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are math rock, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and out of Booker T. Washington.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Dallas schools. That's like a magnet school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
it's an art
Performing
magnet,
arts.
yeah.
Arts magnet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So you've got a few other, you've got some competition. You got a few other bands that play there. Then.
There's not too many bands, but I mean, there are a good amount
Yeah.
that play, but everybody's kind of in their own playground in
Yeah.
the sense of just like what they're doing.
Like what kind of?
There's country, and then there's kind of like more of the
Singer-songwriter.
singer-songwriter, and then grunge, and then the school has their own ensembles as well.
Okay.
But a lot of talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then is there other arts programs there too? That you, can like visual arts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Visual arts,
Yeah.
dance, theater, music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you guys end up at going there?
So basically, well, my freshman year, I went to private school. I went to Bishop Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
So after I played basketball my freshman year, but I always felt like I was like different from my friends because like I just liked playing drums, but none of my friends play instruments. So one day my mom just told me that she wanted me to audition at Booker T. So I auditioned, and that's where I met Jackson because we auditioned together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I came from homeschool, and it was my first year there, my junior year, and his sophomore year, and we both met in like I guess the orientation process.
Okay.
And we were both lost and didn't know where to go. So
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just came from a private school, and a couple friends of mine that I was in a band with ended up going to Booker T, and that's where it got into my mind. I was like, wait, I want to do music. This seems like the right path, and so I had my mind set on Booker T. That was the only school I applied for and auditioned for, and luckily I got in.
Okay. Yeah.
That's interesting because I went to a private high school back in the day, and Harry went to a public school right before we met each other in college. And Harry was always telling me that he thought, from my experience, you always thought that you had more opportunities, especially with the arts.
Yes. Yes. I feel
Yeah.
that. I feel that.
Well, in public school, I meant.
Yeah.
In my public school, I thought there was a lot more opportunity
Right.
than private.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
More resources, more clubs, more things that you can participate in. Your school didn't seem to have a lot of extracurricular stuff.
Right.
So, but
You had to be, popular, and your parents had to have write a check, a donation, that type of thing.
Yeah. All right. So Bullet Train covered. I got how the two of you met. How did you meet up with? How did the whole collective
Okay.
come together?
So yeah, I'll say it. So it started off with me and Jax. We met first.
Okay.
It was my sophomore year, his junior year, and we both had guitar class together. And so our teacher, he made us go out into groups and improvise together and play solos together. And I got paired up with him because like I thought like he was pretty cool, so I wanted to be in his group, and he played a really good solo, and so that was my first time interacting with him, and then we talked more, and then you know
So it's a real class and
Yeah.
at the school. It's really a school of rock that you guys had.
Yeah, basically in a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, but that's how me and Jax met, and then we had this, we had an idea to just start a band, write music, and so I wrote the song, one of our songs, "Taking Charlie Pierce." I wrote that first, and it was just me and him for the longest time, and like we were looking for drummers and looking for drummers, and then we got the idea of this guy named James, and so I kind of knew of him a little bit. Like I just knew that he was in drums, and that was it. And then we ended up having some classes together, and it wasn't until Valograms, which is this thing where people like buy a song from you, and you just go around and you play it for people. It's like
Oh, so it's like a Valentine's.
yeah, it's a
okay,
Valentine's type
okay.
thing where you like buy someone a song, and they'll be like, "This is from this person. They like you," or whatever.
Oh, that's
And so
awesome.
we met in like the
Lounge.
yeah, like the lounge area,
Mm-hmm.
and like because he was jamming with one of my other friends, and I went to join, and then we started talking about music, and we ended up really relating on a lot of music, that like we have a very similar music taste. And then I was like, hey, like we're trying to start a band, like would you be down? He was like, yeah. So that's how I met the two of them.
That's cool. So how do you deliver the Valogram? That's like, does the recipient need to show up someplace, or do you
No,
go
we go
to
to their class.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we go
their
to them.
class.
Go to the class.
You pretty much interrupt the class.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
kind of the fun part about it. Like
It's like
if
a free day, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if the teacher's teaching, you get to interrupt them and start playing music.
How do you wheel the drum kit in there?
So this year, he had like a trap set. So we had like a little dolly, and we were just wheeling it around, basically. Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot, but like it was worth it. It was worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was worth it.
All right. I wasn't sure if that was actually a thing, but it's,
Yeah, it's like a school fundraiser
Yeah.
that they do.
Okay. That's so what is that's a smart and interesting way to do things. What do the funds go to?
The funds go to there's like within like the music program, there's different like ensembles and groups, and that's put together by the jazz singers. And so the money will go towards helping like fund shows and performances for the jazz singers.
Okay.
This is like one of the big deals of the school year.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it start right after everybody gets back from break in January?
Yeah,
Sort of, a little bit.
Little
Or is
bit.
it just
Yeah.
one day that they do it?
Well,
or
you
is
have
it
to
multiple?
audition to
Yeah.
get in, but like it's one day, but like it's really planned. Like it's
Okay.
planned.
Yeah.
It's planned.
So not just anybody can.
Oh, no.
No.
Be
You have to audition.
You have
deliver
to
a
audition.
Valgram. Okay. Okay. So
Cool.
that is pretty. neat.
So, I have a question for y'all. How did y'all like end up on math rock, and like what are your inspirations? How'd you kind
Okay.
of get to that
So,
point?
well,
well, you say yours first.
Yeah.
my inspirations.
Yeah,
So
no, I'll say mine.
one person I really admire, like, is Tony Williams, and I'll say this because like I feel like you can put him. Well, you could have like put him in any situation, like any type of music. He could like play it down, play it right, and like it feels right. But I feel like I've gotten to math rock because honestly, I was raised in church my whole life, and like I play church music, but like I wanted to like separate myself, like and get better and try different things. So that's how I got into the math rock thing.
What about the rest of y'all? How'd y'all end up, or was it James? Was it mostly you? Hey guys, let's do math rock, man.
It was-
Or was it?
It was this dude right
It
here.
was mainly rock.
This
Yeah,
dude,
it was
bro.
me.
And-
I mean, my background really on guitar is, I mean, well, my music inspiration at least is, like my favorite band in the entire world is the Beatles.
Mm.
I am a Beatles super fan. I know everything about the band, every single song, like everything about the band. So, like, you know, I grew up on a lot of Beatles, but I also grew up on a lot of emo. But not like the screamo stuff, like the real 90s emo, Midwest emo stuff. And then, you know, I discovered this band called Chon, and then
Sean.
that opened up my mind to math rock. And then I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Because when I started guitar, because I haven't been playing guitar for too long, it's only been about 4 years. And when I started writing my own stuff, it, like, all of that musicality just all came out. It was all Beatles, indie, and, like, you know, semi emo-ish. And then it just kind of shaped from me getting more into jazz and stuff like that. It kind of just all shaped into math rock.
Can you walk me through like your musical journey a little bit more? Like, how did you end up deciding, hey, I wanna, I wanna start playing guitar, and how did you originally get introduced to some of your main inspirations?
So I actually started out playing drums. I've been playing drums for at least this year, I think about 13 years. I've been playing like drums for all my life. And so I've always been a drummer, but I never had that mentality of just I want to stay a drummer, that's all I want to do. I've always wanted to branch out and try different stuff. And in middle school I started playing trumpet. And just because, like, one of my favorite trumpet players, Herb Alpert, I love his music. I have every single one of his albums. I wanted to be like him, and so, you know, I learned how to play trumpet, and then I was like, no, I want to play drums again, and so I went back to drums, and then like one day, like, because when a lot of people, when they ask me like what got you into guitar, it was nothing got me into guitar. I was just sitting in my room one day, and I was like, I feel like learning guitar. And I went to my dad and I asked him, I was like, could I get a guitar? And he was like, sure, let's go to freaking Sam Ash. We'll get you a guitar. And so I went, got a guitar, and, you know, now I'm here.
Cool.
But, you know, I've wrote a lot on guitar. Like, I haven't really gone back to drums that much. But, you know, I still play a little bit on the side, but really my guitar is my main. I think I'm gonna stick with that for the rest of my life.
Would you say that, like, do you see yourself trying to pick up another instrument? Do you see like guitar as being, I guess, your primary instrument, what you're going to stick on, or do you foresee yourself like continuing to move around and being dissatisfied with the status quo of only knowing, you know, a handful of instruments and wanting to expand yourself that way?
I see of it more as I want to stick to guitar. I mean, because I love guitar. My favorite instrument ever since I picked it up. I love it. If I do still want to expand my musicality and my music journey, and so what I try to do now is I try to bring other instruments to guitar, like play guitar like piano, or like play like a saxophone player, or play like a trumpet player, or, like, you know, have percussiveness and rhythms like drums, and, like, you know, like, I like to bring in different stuff. I want to stick to guitar, but I don't want the guitar to just be guitar. I want it to be everything.
Have you thought about maybe doing like the inverse of maybe, for instance, taking trumpet and running it through a microphone and then running that through like different guitar pedals, reverb pedals, distortion pedals, and just kind of like, you know, see where you can get from that?
So the funny thing about that is I've actually wanted to do the opposite. I wanted to be on guitar and make it sound like a saxophone or make it sound like a trumpet.
Have you heard of Crash Kings? Their band.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
The main guy he's a keyboardist, but all of his riffs and everything else is written and it sounds like guitar.
Mm,
So it's kind of like along the lines of what you're
yeah,
talking about.
because I've always been trying to find effects that sound like synths, or
Mhm.
make it sound like, you know, like, or even like I have a 12-string pedal that makes my guitar sound like a 12-string, or make it sound like a saxophone, or just like stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I've always liked that type of stuff, so I can keep my love for guitar, but also still appreciate and have the love for the other instruments. You
Well,
know.
that's what MIDI was originally designed to be able to do, to interconnect and
Yeah.
allow you to play one instrument. What's the right way to say it? Play one instrument on another, or like to use one instrument to drive another
Yeah.
type of vibe or type of sound.
Have you messed around with like a an EBO before? You know, like
Oh yeah.
those little. You know what I'm talking about?
Possibly.
They're like that. It looks kind of like a brick. You'll see it like guitarists wear it almost like a ring sometimes, but it's like very blocky ring. It has like a little blue little light, and what it does is it's like a I don't know. It's like a magnet or something in it. And it continually vibrates the
Yeah.
string. I think it basically works like the inverse of how like a guitar pickup works.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of that. I've been meaning to get an EBO, which it's pretty much the same thing, but just down here instead of on your finger. I've been wanting to get an EBO because, you know, a lot of my favorite guitar players have used that, and, you know, I like to get their sounds, and I just like experimenting with a lot of different stuff, you know, stuff like that.
So I saw that James, you got kind of an interesting setup on your kit.
Yes.
So since we're talking about like different sounds and everything else, tell me a little bit about what your setup is.
So
and-
basically, I have the spiral cymbal. I get inspiration from Chris Dave. He's like innovated drumming in my opinion, because like he can play on any setup, anything, and it'll sound good. So basically, I have all the cymbals. Like every time I play, like honestly, you can ask them. I try something new, like, and they call me stupid. I don't care, but like I want to be different because I don't want to. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to be like everybody else. Like I want to like be my own thing. Like that's James. Like if you hear somebody playing, like you hear our records or something, oh that's James playing. Like I want to just be like separated from everybody else in a way.
I saw you get some other stuff that you placed on top of the heads on some of the drums there.
Zilbo?
Zobel, I feel like it just like honestly, I don't even know. Like I'm just trying different things, different textures. I'm just trying to like see what I like. Honestly, I'm still like growing, honestly, but like once I like find my sound, I feel like I'll stick with a certain setup.
Is that a thing? Put a bell on the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think you've noticed like do you think you've noticed like how having a different setup has dictated on like how you play and different ideas that you start, you know, different vocabulary that you
Oh,
start
for
using
sure.
a lot more?
I feel like my example, like if I use more, I feel like I have more options to choose from. But like if I have less, it gives me like I have to think about what I'm gonna do. Like I can't if I have no toms, I can't do like crazy chops. I can do chops maybe with the floor tom, but like if I have toms, I could do way more. So I feel like if I have less, I can be more creative.
Jackson, what about you? Kind of walk us through your musical journey and like how you got into bass and you know your all of your inspirations and all that good stuff.
Well, similar to Rocco in a sense, I didn't start with bass. I actually there wasn't one instrument that I really started with. Both my mom and dad are both musicians. It's just kind of a family thing. My sister and brother-in-law as well. You know, they do that. But I I actually started playing the bass, and I feel like this is a similar story for all bass players. But you know, you always want to like do something else, like oh, I want to play guitar, and then you get handed a bass. So there was just a bass laying around my stepdad's house, and I picked it up one day. I didn't know at all what it was or how to play it, and I just I tuned the strings as high as I could, so you know it would sound like I could hear it without an amp, and I would just play with one finger, and I try to play songs with it, and then I ended up breaking the string, and I was terrified because I didn't know you could go buy a new set of strings. I thought it was like irreplaceable, so I was freaking out, and I hid it for a long time, and then you know, come to find out you can get new strings, and then I put a new set on, and as soon as I did that, I broke them. So, but no. Then I kind of consider myself a bass player for a few years. I never really played or practiced, but I knew a few songs, and so it got to maybe 2023. Uh, no, yeah, right before my junior year, I was talking to a friend, and he had suggested trying out Booker T, and my dad had actually gone to Booker T, and my mom had gone to the the Houston version of it, and so I had never considered that idea, and I thought it was way out of my league. But I spent about 6 months going to lessons and getting as good as I could to go in for my audition. And I actually auditioned for both bass and voice, and I made it in for voice for singing in the choir. And so I made it in for choir, and then I kind of slowly pushed into what they call like the RJAM, the more like band oriented stuff, and really just pushed towards the bass, and I love it. It's a great instrument.
What do you think kind of like made you want to stay with bass? You like why do you think that you were so compelled to keep going, especially like like for me, I when I first got into it, like I kind of had a choice between guitar and drums, and like when I was first starting to like really practice and stuff, like in my head, I wanted to be a guitarist, but I was better at like percussion and drums because I'd already been doing percussion. And at least for me, that's part of the big decision of why I ended up choosing to put all my energy into drum sets because like I was along the philosophy of I was already, had more progression along with it. So I kept pushing, but it sounds like you kind of had like a slightly different story of how maybe you were more passionate about bass than vocals. So like, what do you think? Where do you think was that point where you kind of made that conscious decision to like really keep going at it and pushing hard? Was it when your friend suggested that you try out for Booker T?
I'm not really sure because I mean, up until that point, music wasn't new to me. I'd always sang my heart out, even though nobody wanted to hear it because it was pretty bad. But no, and I played trumpet in middle school as well. So and I took piano lessons as a kid, and I played drums as well, and I picked up the guitar because just why not? COVID came, and I was bored, so I wanted to try to really try and you know get somewhere with it. But no, I think like the bass kind of chose me in a way, and I know that's kind of a tacky thing to say, but it's like the bass I see as with all the main instruments, piano, guitar, drums, it captures all of it. You're able to be rhythmic. You're able to be melodic and dictate the harmony. You lead the band, and it was just kind of a role that was like I just really wanted to fill and just push myself to see what I can do. And as Rocco said, here I am.
So we've talked about kind of where you all came from, right? And like also how Bullet Train to Madrid ended up forming. Let's talk about like the history of Bullet Train to Madrid from y'all's first rehearsal up to now. Like interesting, let's talk about
How
like
long you guys been together?
rehearsals and stuff like
Like
that.
seriously, like January.
January.
Yeah,
January.
me and Rocco have been together since last January.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
literally January 2025.
yeah, we I think our first rehearsal was in the piano room at the Booker T.
I remember walking by.
And I remember it was we were staying late after school one day, and we're like, hey, let's try something. And so he played the song that he was coming up with, and I was like, oh, let me figure something out, and sat with it for a little bit. But no, that was kind of like the first thing. And then my dad has a little studio at our house, and we went and laid down a rough take, and Rocco played drums and guitar, and that was kind of like and I played bass on it as well, but that was kind of the first thing, and like I guess you could say the birth of Bullet Train Madrid.
So you guys have played a few gigs though now, and one of your first gigs was at the Granada.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
Yes.
very first
Yeah,
gig,
our
actually.
first gig was at the
Tell me about that, because that's a pretty good first place to play.
Yeah, it was great.
Uh,
You want to do it? Or?
awesome. So we were part of this thing. What was it?
Booker T Live.
Yeah, Booker T Live. We have this thing. It's not every year, I don't think, right?
No,
But it's like every.
Well,
It's consistently.
the way they did it this year was kind of different from previous years, right?
Yeah. So, we have this thing called Booker T Live, and basically, like, you audition with a band, or it's just yourself, and you have an opportunity to play, on a big stage. And they've done it at the Granada. I'm not sure how many times, but I know they have at least once, and I know twice now because of us. But they, I don't know where the other one was. Do you know where the other one
It
was?
was right by the school. The
Yeah.
AT&T.
Yeah, I guess they played at AT&T on the big stage, but we had an opportunity to audition, so we auditioned with our original Take It Charlie Pierce and and this really really not so great version of Spain by Chick Corea.
Yeah.
We tried to change it, make it math rock,
Yeah.
and we're still surprised that we
Got in.
got in with
Yeah.
that song.
Okay.
And so and then we ended up getting it. So we had a bunch of time to rehearse, and I was sitting on a couple songs already. I was sitting on a couple songs, and so we just had to get together, write them, finish them, and then by the time we were at the Granada, we were ready to play.
So I'm not a musician, but I am definitely around a lot of musicians, and have been for the last 3 years, and have gotten to learn a lot of things. But I'm guessing from what you said, do songs kind of end up like let's say I'm going to take a picture with my phone, and I look out and I see, oh, it's beautiful out there. I'm in some place that has mountains or streams or whatever. That'd make a great picture, and I take the picture, and then I look at my phone and I say, yuck. I think that's probably all happened to us where we go to take make a great picture and it turns out terrible.
Yeah.
Can that happen with songs sometimes?
In my opinion, I feel like demos, because one thing our teacher told us, because we have a recording studio at our school, he said the recordings never lie. So once you hear yourself play, you know what you're doing. You can't lie to yourself saying you sound good, you sound bad. So yeah, I feel like the same way.
Yeah.
And kind of like off the picture analogy, I don't think there's ever been a song that's terrible, but we just take it and we edit it in a way.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
just to make it good.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
it starts with the picture and then it adds stuff. 'Cause, I mean, usually how it's been working, just for a while, it's certain people will come in with songs. I'll come in, usually when I come in, I have pretty much a fully fledged song, but I'm just I don't know what to do for drums. So that's him. Or maybe I have an idea, I think this for that. Or maybe for bass, I have a melody I think you should play on bass. And then usually I come in with that and being hey, here are the chords. This is how it goes. Let's do
So
something
it
with
kind
it.
of morphs into.
Yeah, so it starts with the initial picture, and then
Right.
0.5's all out. And,
What's your process? I mean, do you start with is it a guitar riff that it
yeah,
starts
usually,
with or is
usually it's me, and I used to just be able to pump out songs and songs and songs, but usually they're pretty bad. So now I only really write something when I fully have inspiration, because I've tried doing the sit down, lock yourself in a room, friggin' no distractions, no phones, no TVs, no video games, just sit myself in a room, try to write something, and I wouldn't be able to, and then I would hear some inspiration, then boom, I would have a song, and I would be well, I can't do that. Songs only come when the inspiration comes, and so usually it starts off with me writing something, or like, you know, if one of them just has an idea or something, and then we bring it in, and then we all make music from it.
Does it ever start with one of you guys?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. I feel like one of our songs, Jax, he had like a bass line to it, and he came in. This was like a week before Booker T Live,
Yeah.
and he came in, he played it, we made an arrangement to it, and it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with that one, it was like I had barely anything to it, and
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, you know, what do you guys think of this? And I think we were actually all frustrated because, you know, we were working on other songs and it wasn't sounding good, so we just kind of was like, you know, hey, let's do something new. And I was like, hey, you know, I got this. So we went with that, and, you know, now we have one more song added to the catalog.
So you said Beatles were a big inspiration. Who are your inspirations?
I say one group, fusion group, Snarky Puppy.
Mm.
That's one.
They came up the other day. Somebody
Yeah.
was mentioning
From
them.
UNT, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say they're local, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like his guitar player, Alan Holsworth. I really like his music. I like Vinny Caliuta. I like his music. I like Chan, of course. Honestly, it's a mixture of everything. I like Animals as leaders.
Mm.
You can go. Like, I'm still thinking.
Uh,
I have a lot.
I feel like mine's kind of like a different thing. Like I was I remember the first bass line I learned was "Brick House" by the Commodores, and like I kind of like a lot of my inspiration is like funk oriented and like Earth, Wind and Fire, and you know, then I started venturing into a little bit heavier stuff. Oh well, also Stevie Wonder, that was a big inspiration for me.
Victor Wood.
And yeah, Victor Wood.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, and then, you know, Weather Report with Jaco Pastorius. That was the, you know, I know they got their thoughts on Weather Report, but I really like Weather Report. But no, then I, you know, started venturing into, you know, heavier stuff, you know, Slipknot and all that. I wouldn't credit any like big stuff to it. It's just kind of like, I guess. Well, no, I would credit stuff. Like it's just kind of.
I'm a little confused. You got a 5-string, so
Yeah, that was.
you said Commodores, but you got a 5-string, and then you said Slipknot. So
Yeah, so I, you know, I was told by my bass teacher, I'd had actually that same bass over there, the jazz 4-string, the jazz bass. It's one of my favorites. But I started with that, and that was a great bass. But then
the P bass.
yeah, the P bass.
Yeah.
Or not the P bass, the jazz bass.
No, the jazz bass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I started with that, and my bass teacher, you know, I always looked over and I was like, "Man, you got that 5-string there. What's the purpose of that?" And he was like, "You know, you need that low end sometimes." And a lot of time with the first ensemble I was in at Booker T was gospel, and a lot of the times you need to drop down and hit that low B or something. And so that was kind of the inspiration with getting the 5-string. And after that, I haven't turned back.
I do want to also add, like, on top of the Beatles, I have like it kind of went in like a lot of waves, and like, you know, I started off with the Beatles, and like I love 60s and 70s classic rock, yacht rock.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've always like loved that sound, and then, you know, like I was into that, and then like, you know, I finally like got my own phone when I was like 13, and I got my own phone, and I got Amazon Music, and I got to listen to my own music, not just pop radio, whatever my mom put on, you know, in the car. And so I got to listen to my own stuff, and I got to like, you know, I got to really like come up with my own stuff. And then I got Instagram, and then I got like a whole bunch of more stuff. And like, you know, it started from that classic rock stuff, and then I started getting into more like, you know, kind of like DJ-ish type, you know, house music, stuff like that. And then I started getting more heavier, like into heavier music. Like I discovered, you know, The Fall of Troy, like a lot of like post-hardcore, and, you know, like prog metal and jazz fusion. And I started really getting into that, you know, that type of jazz influenced subgenres. and stuff, and I started getting all of that, and then now I'm still super into like fusion and prog metal and prog rock and like all that stuff. And so I started from the Beatles and I went all into
Well,
jazz fusion.
Beatles is pretty diverse. I mean,
Yeah.
they spanned a lot of different kinds of musicality across their the 60s into the 70s, because
Yeah.
they had some pretty straight-laced stuff early on. They had some pretty experimental stuff later on. So there's a lot to work with there.
We have a lot of prog bands playing on. Kind of worked out where they're playing on Saturday, so
Perfect.
probably
Yeah.
want to come by on Saturday too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like prog too because it's like going beyond. It's like pushing yourself. I think
Yeah.
instead of just doing what's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have not been playing for terribly long, but what kinds of experiences or like weird things that have happened, aha moments, or I can't believe that really just happened,
Well,
Talk
kind of
about how your
things?
bass fell.
What?
Sounds.
it fell.
Yes. The strap on your bass.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
no. Oh, I
Like,
mean, our first show.
Share with the rest of us.
Yeah, so he's referring to actually I had that bass and there are like little strap locks on it,
Mhm.
and I didn't have those. So before the gig, I was trying to figure out because I can't sit and play. I mean I can, but just kind of look a little weird with them. But so I cut chopsticks in half and shoved them in the holes. So I had about maybe 4 inches of chopsticks sticking out, and then I put my strap on it, and it worked kinda until it didn't. And when it didn't, it really didn't. And mid song, drops the bass. It didn't hit the ground, but doom. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Still a good show. Still a good show.
it was,
Still a good show.
it was a great. Wouldn't say crowd. We'd say more of a group
Okay.
of 6 people.
Okay.
But
Okay.
no, we've
Which one?
our first gig was like definitely the one of the biggest shows.
Yeah,
I mean,
the biggest.
that
it
we
was,
did.
It was fully
And,
packed.
We've had some other shows that not quite like that, but
Right.
great turnout.
Yeah.
But we've also played for very small groups.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but we're very happy to do it. We just
Our-
love playing.
Like our most recent, right?
Right?
Yeah.
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 That was,
Yeah. Yes.
Our most recent gig, we played to a total of
0.
of 3 people who actually came to see us, and the only other 3 people were the owner of the venue,
Mhm.
his, I think that was his wife.
Yeah, it was his wife.
His wife, and the singer of the act before us.
That happened. That
And they were kind of in the process of packing up, so they
Yeah.
weren't staying around.
So
very
they
long.
weren't staying
I
around.
feel like great things start in like little rooms, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. It's so I mentioned this earlier when we were kind of talking about the setup. Original music is tough. You don't have songs that everybody knows and sings along with, because they don't know it. The flip side of that is if you hit a wrong note or you sing
Nobody
the wrong
knows.
words,
Yeah,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Your fan base is your friends and family, and you kind of have to embrace that, embrace the people that are around you that can support you, because that's really what it is. It's what original music is. It's not being played on the radio. You guys know what the radio is, right? I know you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good thing with antennas, right?
You right, yeah. I'm just checking because for me, my experience was I had a transistor radio. I had this little one that looked like Kermit the Frog, almost, with little dials on. But transistor radio was a big thing, and you listened to whatever was on the air. You didn't get to choose. You didn't get to pick your own music.
Yeah.
You listen to what mom and dad had on the car radio, or if you were lucky enough to have a radio, you listen to it. Now you got thousands of choices, and there's also you've got millions of songs. You've got bazillion artists that are out there. So it's even more difficult to find a base of people that'll come and see you.
But I think when you find that because eventually you'll replace your family and friends. I think because your family and friends won't be
Never
able to go
replace
to
Yeah.
well, never replace them,
had
but
to.
they can't go to every single gig,
That's fair.
and eventually you pick up people along the way that are very loyal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some of those fans.
Oh,
Sounds
loyal
like you
fan- oh,
got at least
yes.
3 of them that showed up
Yes,
to your.
loyal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Loyal
Yeah.
fans.
That is
Yeah.
definitely a good.
Yeah.
That's a great
Taylor?
start. That is a great start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. How can people find you?
Well,
Bullet Train to Madrid.
we're on Instagram
Okay.
And TikTok. And TikTok.
TikTok as well.
Mm.
Okay.
And we soon will be releasing music to Apple Music and Spotify
Yes.
and other streaming
Yeah.
platforms as
Yeah.
well.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Today you should, if you can get on everything, you should get on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube coming soon.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yes,
we'll
yes.
have a YouTube channel.
We're gonna have everything.
Yes.
Okay. I think Ryan's putting up the graphics for your Instagram and your TikTok. No
Thank you.
Roblox or
Roblox.
Oh.
Not yet.
I've
No.
got a
No.
quick question.
Fortnite.
sure.
Where y'all headed after Booker T?
Yeah, that's good.
They have one more year, and
Uh-huh.
I'm heading to North Texas.
That's what
for
I was
jazz
gonna guess.
studies.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna
One.
guess.
That's one. North Texas.
Yeah.
I was looking at Berkeley College of Music.
Uh-huh.
Then I was also looking at Belmont. In Tennessee, they have a good commercial music program over there.
Okay.
Music business. So yeah.
Yeah. I've been looking at UNT and Berkeley and maybe Music Institute and
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Ryan went to UNT, and we've had a lot of UNT. We've had a few Berkeley come through also with various bands that have been here or played with either Blake or with Ryan. So they're good schools. We approve. Not that they need our approval, but but all right, Bullet Train to Madrid, everybody. Go check them out on Instagram, on TikTok. And come see them play at Rock in the Summer on July 26th.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to switch over here, and then we're going to do a small performance with these guys playing some of their original songs.
Yes.
So give us a little bit, and we'll be right back.